5:30 this morning. I had my coffee. I'm off to watch the grandbaby today. She can't go to school. After only 1 week of school, somebody's crotch goblin got her sick. And I'm going to try to wear a mask today, but I know I'm going to get this cold no matter what I do. Not looking forward to that. But yeah, pretty much ruins our whole routine. I mean, I like to take the dogs for a walk in the morning, go out and have a nice lunch, but I'm gonna have a sick little girl instead. Hope she's feeling better today. Hope her fever broke. Doesn't that mean she won't be contagious? That would be great. So, y'all, I had a stupidest argument with my husband today. Well, a discussion really about this person he watches on YouTube who does those fart pranks, you know. I think it's the stupidest thing on the planet. I just don't find it humorous. But he just thinks it's the funniest thing. And he calls these people who are victims of this prank, he calls them hypocrites. He says that, what a hypocrite. Everybody farts. You fart. Everybody farts. And I'm trying to tell him, yeah, but the difference is that we're not going in public and farting in people's faces trying to get a reaction. We do it away from people. Most people try to hide their farts, or at least, at the very least, you know, we try to slip them out. He says, no, it's the same thing. Everybody farts. What if you farted in public? How would you feel if somebody said these things to you? And I'm like, first of all, if I farted in public, I would giggle and run away so nobody knew it was me. And it was just the stupidest discussion. He says, besides, it's not really farts, it's just pretend. I'm like, yeah, but these people are not in on the joke. All they know is some guy's coming up farting in their wife's face or their children's faces or whatnot. So, that was the stupid conversation of the day. Oh, and also he fell down the stairs again. We have these treacherous stairs. So steep and horrible. But he's okay. Scraped his elbow up a little bit. I told him he's got to learn how to fall. Coming from someone who trips and falls all the time. You just got to collapse your legs and land on your ass. I mean, it's the toughest part. It's the meatiest part to land on. I try not to laugh, but that is like, it's probably one of my least admirable qualities, is that I laugh my ass off when people beef it. I mean, of course I'm concerned. I make sure they're okay, but it's just the funniest shit to me when people fall. So, yep, on that long drive, on a day that's supposed to be my day off, but, I mean, life happens. My son-in-law has to go into the office, train some people. I mean, I guess that's what he's doing. He explains in depth what he does, but you know, if you held a gun to my head, I could not tell you really what my son-in-law and my daughter do for a living. They both work for the same company. Something to do with recycled plastics. I think she's in charge of nylon. I don't know. So I guess they're pretty big deals at their company, but I couldn't tell you what they do. No idea. I was in the restaurant business for 30 years myself. All aspects, server, bartender, manager. So I just don't get it. There's something on my windshield. Box in the road, that's wonderful. Alright. So I'm going to try to figure out inside activities to do today. With my little sweetheart. Can't use the pool. Doubt that it's very good for her to go swimming, so the only thing with a 5-year-old is it's hard to keep them down, you know what I'm saying? Like with me, when I'm sick, I just crawl into my bed, dose myself with NyQuil and try to sleep it away. Of course, she's not gonna do that. She probably shouldn't do that because then she'll be up all night. It's a weird stage of life I'm in right now. It's like I had my child pretty young, so that was easy keeping up. I was young and full energy. My daughter waited a hot minute to have her baby. Something about, you know, wanting a house and, and being able to educate this child. You know, that's not everybody's choices, but she waited till later to have her children until she was like 33. She's been blessed with one perfect child like me. And I must say, she has really excelled in the mother department. They're both really good with her. Very patient and understanding. I'm sure they'll never make the mistakes I've made. But hey, in my defense, my daughter grew up in the 80s. It was just not... It's just not a time that it is now. She grew up before the internet. I remember giving her a beeper. That was a total waste of money. She never answered my calls. Nowadays, they have all kinds of way of keeping track of kids through their phones and whatnot. I gotta get out from behind this truck because he's gonna lose that couch. It's not even tied down. Yeah, so that was a stupid conversation. Chris has his own way of thinking. I thought I'd gotten used to it after 40 years of marriage, but he just comes up with the damnedest shit. Plus, we're both kind of losing our hearing a bit, him more than I, but still. And we find ourselves having these conversations a lot of times. I'll be talking about one thing, he'll be talking about another. And a lot of misunderstandings happen that way because he'll think I've said something I haven't said, or vice versa, and I'm like, but why would I even say those things to begin with to you? He's like, well, that's what I heard, and I'm like, well, this is what I said. And it would be pretty humorous if it weren't so frustrating. So now we have to go face to face. We can't just holler across the house anymore. We got to go face to face with the talking, so we can see each other's lips. And even then, sometimes he's like, "What?" Been trying to get him to get out, maybe come to the granddaughter's house with me, but he's like deep into his agoraphobic stage again, not wanting to leave the house. It's not very productive, not very healthy in my opinion. Once you just retire and start staying home, you start aging really quickly. It's basically like having a toddler at home. I'll leave him to his own devices and he does stupid shit. Like try to climb up on ladders or cut tree limbs or clean gutters. And he's a wobbly, so there's a lot of shaking and wobbliness going on. I'm just afraid that he's going to really hurt himself one day. But at least it gives him something to do. He wants to mow, but our rider took a dump on us the other day. We've hid so many things in our lawn. I mean, I call it a lawn, but I mean, it's just treacherous property. A lot of hidden tree stumps, slopes and hills and such. And we've hit our deck so many times that it's legit just broken loose. I noticed when I was mowing the lawn, and I'm like, it just feels weird, what's going on here? And then after a couple passes, I looked, and like, there were rows, and one side was like down to the dirt, and the other side was still high, because the deck had dropped down on the right side. We tied that sucker up with some wire and finished the lawn, but man, that's another cost that I can ill afford. And I wouldn't even know about how to go about fixing a deck. Weekend was 3 days back to the grind. Instead of working 3 days this week, I have to work 5 days. I've gotten spoiled, but I just wish I lived a bit closer and they could just drop the baby at my house. Today. That's nice. grandma lets us. Usually she doesn't allow any kind of adult conversation. She's just like, pay attention to me. You guys are boring. And I suppose we are. Especially me and her father, because we want to discuss like current events and what's happened and politics, and my daughter or my granddaughter really have no use for that. They just call us boring. So we sneak off like we're doing something illegal and we talk politics in the kitchen. It's pretty funny. Didn't bring any lunch today because lately I've been going out and just grabbing something to eat, but I forgot that Emma's home today, so I'm not going to be able to just go out and get something to eat. I hate the Uber. It's like 5 times more expensive than the actual food is, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I did nothing this weekend. I literally just sat around being lazy. On YouTube, way too much. Engaging with all the idiots on YouTube. I just don't get why some people are so hateful. And I also don't get why people have to create different accounts. Like they're afraid of just being themselves and stating their own opinions about things. Too scared to call someone out on their bullshit in their own real life name or account. It's so funny to me. There's one particular one when I go on Furry Potato and I make a comment. They're like obsessed with everything I say. Like I gotta explain myself on why I like a certain person or why I watch a certain person. Like, how is it their business? Seriously. And why would you be on someone's channel if you don't like their content? I mean, granted, I do go on some channels sometimes just to follow the discourse and the chats, but as far as getting involved in it, I don't know. But there's only so much of that you could take, you know? I mean, really, one of my favorite channels to follow and what I watch the most is this animal sanctuary channel called I'm a Survivor. He has another channel too, Longhorn Lester's, which I kind of like even more. But all the problems that Texas is going through and the drought and stuff like that, and people having to sacrifice their animals up for auction, animals that might be pets or might be an investment, who knows, but it's hard on the animals and it's hard on the ranchers and the farmers. And here in Florida, it rains every day like clockwork. I couldn't even imagine living somewhere where it just doesn't rain and nothing grows and lakes dry up. I could never live in a place like that. I mean, people say, oh, but you got hurricanes. Yeah, we do have hurricanes. I've been through several. But, what, I'm 50, how old am I? Am I 58 or 59? I'm 58, I think. I'd have to do the math, y'all. I was born in 64. But I've lived here my whole life. Most of that I've lived in Miami. And the only hurricane that was of any significant damage to me or people I know was Hurricane Andrew. So it's not like, oh, there's hurricanes and you have to put up with them every year. You prepare. Hurricanes aren't all that, especially in Central Florida. I mean, the last one to hit Central Florida, we lost power. I was sleeping with my windows open. And it was really less violent of a storm than our normal everyday thunderstorms that we get here. But these people have been dealing with these drought situations. They've had to shuttle animals back and forth between the farms because one farm has more shade for the heat because, of course, the heat's out of control. And it also has more foliage, which he raises longhorns, which are different than other cows because they will forage. And of course his goats, they need that all that foliage in their diets. So I watch that channel a whole bunch because, well, I kind of like people. I like people a little less than I like animals. I like animals a lot. I mean, I don't know if I could ever care for that many animals, like the chores and you're tied to it. I have 3 senior girl cats that aren't long for this world, but I tell you, when they're gone, I think that's it for the animals for me. I want to be fit, loose, and fancy free because I think I might travel a bit. Snatch up my sister and go travel because I know Chris ain't going to travel with me. He can't even stand being in the car for 10 miles before he starts losing it. I've actually had to go do my shopping on my own the last few times. It's kind of a pain. I'm so tired. Got my thermos of coffee. Gotta get my energy level up, man. I gotta deal with a 5-year-old and 2 dogs and 2 cats. The cats are easy. Cats are super easy. Why's your blinker on, bro? Just go. There's nowhere to turn here. He got scared because he was going through a school zone and there was a cop. Just go with the flow. Okay. Whoa. You're a crazy car. He's trying to turn over a median. He's so stupid. Okay. Alright. Maybe they haven't had their morning coffee either. So, I live in the woods. I don't go out of my house really after the sun goes down. There's a lot of wild shit in the woods. My daughter lives in a, I guess you could say, a more affluent area, more cityfied, you know. Like, for instance, I have to send all of my Amazon packages to her house because the Amazon drivers can never find my house. And they always leave my stuff with my neighbors. And my neighbors don't like being disturbed, so I send all my stuff to my daughter's house. And And I thought, oh, cool, it must be nice to live in civilization where you don't have to worry about all the wildlife and the ruralness of it. Like, you can't pick and choose what carrier you're going to have, for your TV or internet. You basically have a couple choices. You can have, like, Comcast cable, or you can have, the dishes. And I really like Comcast because of, the DVR. I record a lot of stuff and watch a lot of regular TV. But they literally had to run my cable along the phone lines up top to my house. So when it heats up like it's, destined to do here in Florida, it messes with everything. My signal, I get really slow internet even though I pay for high speed. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to live more towards the city? I mean, because that's how I grew up, right? I grew up in Miami, and even though that's the suburbs, the wilderness was only when you went to it. Like, the Everglades, or, growing up, there were some woods around my house, but, I mean, not woods, just lots of land that were overgrown. We'd make forts in and stuff. So the other day, I was driving to my daughter's house with these thoughts in my head, like, wow, this is a long drive and I really need to move closer. And out of nowhere, I see a car pulled to the side of the road up ahead. Well, first I saw a deer cross like a 4-lane road. It's really 2 lanes, but it's got long turn lanes for Wekiva Park. So I saw this deer bound across in 2 leaps across the road, barely missing the car in front of me. Then I noticed that there was a car pulled over on the side of the road, and another deer dead in the road. And I thought, that's some scary shit, because that car was totaled. I don't know why animals run out in the roadways and stuff. Like, they got to get to the other side, man. They just got to. He has a national park with just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres of just wonderful nature trails and woods and springs and fresh water sources and stuff for them to eat. But for some reason, I guess they felt the need to be across the street where there's housing development. And they do that. I've seen deer in the front yards of my daughter's neighborhood. They also have bears that come over from the park. You have to be very careful about your garbage situation. My son-in-law thought his garbage was safe he put it out too early, and he said, oh shit, it's not garbage day. So he dragged the can back into the backyard behind a huge wooden fence. And they heard a huge noise in the middle of the night. My son went to investigate, even though my daughter was screaming out, what are you doing? You don't go out in the middle of the night when you hear a commotion. But he grabbed his gun and he went out there. We didn't really see anything because it was dark. But the next morning when he woke up, this bear had just like completely ripped the gate off of his fence to get to his garbage. So, like, really, bears are no joke. Apparently, deers are no joke either. You hit a deer and, I'm trying to slow my speed down, especially through my neighborhood, my daughter's neighborhood, because it seems like lately, man, during the summer, these animals are just out and about. Like, it's all good. So yeah, city living doesn't really mean a lot around here in this area. There's no way I'd move to downtown Orlando. I wouldn't move to any major city's downtown area. Seems to be where all the riffraff hang, the criminals and the drugs and the homeless. I do want to start doing what MLH says and go feed the homeless downtown, but I would never live down there for sure. Look at this truck. So weird truck. Everybody's driving like crazy people today. Oh, my shit's fogging up here. Let me fix that right quick. So humid outside. That's good. It is kind of nice though to have something to do every day, somewhere to go. Not that it's a real job. My kids do take care of me and make sure they pay me what they would pay at daycare. It's kind of a relief leaving the house. My man's a bit on the needy side. Always needing something. Y'all ever want to just disappear somewhere? I mean, I know there's people that are lonely out there going, you know, this bitch complaining that, you know, she got family and a needy husband. I understand. But I also understand that I went from my parents' house to my husband's house and then had a child and worked basically, never had any time to myself. Shoot, never really been alone in my own home by myself. Sometimes it's very appealing to want to be in my own company. I love my own company. It's relaxing. Imagine being on a beach, just being able to read my book without interruption, or just being able to sit quietly with no conversation. Chris feels like he has to fill in all the spaces of silence, you know? There's people like that. They feel like they're always, I mean, there always has to be something said or observed, or I mean, it's not that bad, but I mean, I like his useless trivia. But sometimes I just want to be left in peace. Sometimes I just want to curl up and read a book from cover to cover. That's never happened. I usually take my 10-15 minutes before bed and read my book. But even last night, he was coming in every couple minutes, scooching me off my comfortable spot, sliding over. It's like, they've got a king size bed. Go to the other side of the bed. can't complain too much though, because we sleep separately. After putting up with his snoring for like 35 years, because he does snore, boy does he snore. Loud in, loud out, but I'm a very sound sleeper, so nothing really wakes me up. But apparently in the last the past 5 years, I've started snoring. I don't know how loud I snore. I mean, according to him, it's very loud, but he's also a very light sleeper. And he's never slept through the night for as long as I've known him, and I've known him since I was a teenager. He's never slept through the night. He's up every hour, every couple hours, and he took himself off to another wing of our house. I mean, we have a huge house. It's no big deal. We have plenty of space, plenty of room. We have our own, living areas and sleeping areas. And at first I was kind of offended, gee, well, But then I started getting used to it. This shit is the bomb. And now he's been trying to, come back into, I don't know, cuddle for a while or whatever, but I find it to be a bit annoying because I just want to read my book. I don't say anything, of course. I would never say anything. And he gives really good rubs, so I think I'll keep him. But boy, is it nice to get a small break from him today. I might regret that comment after dealing with a 5-year-old and all the animals today, but we'll see. I mean, the dogs are going to be a pain in the ass because I can't take them on their regular routine walk. But, as you can see, my daughter lives in a really nice neighborhood. I love the trees. Alright, well, I'm going to cut it off here, y'all, because I don't want to dox my daughter. But I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I might put this one up. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how to edit, so I have to determine that I have to leave in all things if I put things up. So, and look at this. People walking on the street constantly, even though there's perfectly good sidewalks everywhere. That's a pet peeve of mine. Get off the street. There's sidewalks right there. Right there. All right. Take care, everybody.